LoreWarrior Online. Innisphere Standard Battle Armour. Immediately following the Innisphere's first contact with clan battle armour in 3050, the militaries of all 5 great houses began intense research to develop and mass-produce their own battle armour to counter this new clan threat. At first, Innisphere researchers had no models on which to base their designs, because the clan forces were sweeping away all who opposed them and leaving virtually no battlefield salvage for Innisphere forces. Thus, the Innisphere designers were forced to reach all the way back to the Star League to sketchy records of power armour suits such as the Nighthawk, which was used by scouts and special forces of the original SLDF. Early battle armour prototypes based on this data fared poorly in combat simulations, and research proceeded slowly at best. As the clans suffered their first few defeats, Innisphere forces managed to capture clan battle armour, and Innisphere engineers were able to closely examine the new weapon. Soon they had developed copies of the clan battle armour using technology available throughout the Innisphere. The earliest examples of these copies were produced by the Federated Commonwealth's New Avalon Institute of Science, or NAIS, and were immediately issued to FedCom troops on the clan fronts and select elite mercenaries such as the Grey Death Legion for field tests. These suits incorporated many of the same systems as the clan suits, but the limitations of Innisphere technology prohibited the battle armour from carrying as much armour as the clan suits, and from mounting both the SRM launchers and jump jets standard on clan infantry. During the same period, engineers from the Draconis Combine, Free Worlds League and Capellan Confederation began to develop battle armour suits based on captured clan armour. All of these suits entered production functionally identical, and it's widely believed that rampant corporate espionage and/or illegal exchanges of technology across interstellar borders resulted in this unusual serendipity of design. Continuous refinement of the basic chassis and further analysis of captured clan suits allowed the addition of compact jump jets to the standard Innisphere battle armour by the time of the Battle of Tukiad in 3052. However, Innisphere technological limits still preclude an Innisphere battle armour that combines jump capability and the additional SRM launcher found on clan elementals. Although most Innisphere militaries have further refined the basic battle armour design to create such suits as the Federated Sun's Cavalier and the Draconis Combine's Raiden, identical in many respects to functionality within the Innisphere standard, it sports a custom look unique to that faction. The Innisphere standard battle armour suit is still used extensively across known space, with the exception of House Davian, who has already shifted all production over to their Cavalier. All the houses, to one degree or another, still produce the standard model. The standard suits remain one of the most effective and flexible battle armour designs in use, and is the most widely available, but partially due to the fact that manufacturers actively searched for new markets instead of stopping production in favour of the newer, specialised armours. Lowered prices and pallets of custom modifications on demand made this otherwise costly type of infantry attractive to more mercenary outfits, private security forces, and even police. Notable troopers: Private First Class Sergei Kovalennikov. Tall, good-looking, and with an athletic build, Kovalennikov is prime recruiting vid material, and a magnet to the female population on his postings. What he's not, though, is the archetypical empty-headed grunt, having reached his degree in military science in only 2 years after completing 6 years of regular infantry service in the AWFC, earning him in the honours in 3050 of being the first Innisphere soldier to field test battle armour. On his way to lieutenant, Kovalennikov quickly took to this new branch of weaponry. Identifying himself a bit too much of his new power perhaps, he seemed to imagine a field of invincibility around himself. While this state of mind worked to his advantage in battle, it also manifested itself in snobbish behaviour once he stepped outside of the suit. Scientists and engineers wouldn't put up with such manners for long, and he eventually found himself as an enlisted grade back in service. In the final days of the clan invasion, Kovalennikov's attitude shifted for the worse. Now reckless and daring as a devil in battle, he quickly gained the reputation of being the reason why battle armour was equipped with fully closed helmet elements. Else everybody would have seen him ripping out myomas with bare teeth. Sadly, but fittingly, Kovalennikov died in 3057 shortly after being once more demoted on grounds of endangering fellow troopers, as his armour shorted out when he buried his claw into a PPC of an onrushing FWL Awesome. Gocho Sasha Girton. During the blackout of Lufien, Gocho Girton jury-rigged her downed battle armour and the Pagoda of Cherry Blossom's copper roof to act as an impromptu transmitter into orbit to contact troops still loyal to the Dragon. For several days, her link to the heavens was the only reliable source from the Black Pearl to DCMS High Command, officially confirming the treachery of the Black Dragons. It's big, it's nasty, and the art really does convey its basic kind of setup there. It's a nice design, the Innisphere Standard. Battle value, it changes based on its weaponry, but basically there's a version that has a flamer, one with a machine gun, a small laser, or an SRM2. And yeah, it can move 1 hex on the ground, it can jump 3. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's manufactured by Defiance Industries and House Steiner, Korean Enterprises for the Free World's Defense Industries, and Irian Technologies, Kaliyama Weapons Industries for House Marek, Ceres Metals, Hellspont Industrials for House Lau, Cosby Myoma Research Firm, and Luffy Arm Works, Tanadi Computers for Kurita. Its primary factories: Hesperus for House Steiner, Stewart, Gibson, Irian, Kaladasa for Marek, Capella and Cyan for House Lau, Vega and Lufien, and Hachiman for House Kurita. But yeah, I think it's cool that the art really conveys the fact that it is basically like almost like a cheap knockoff of the Elemental suit, and its kind of chunkiness and the straight lines of it all, it makes it look really basic, and it conveys that very, very well. Unlike later designs that obviously look a bit more, Elemental-like, a bit more advanced. But I thought I'd start with the the Innisphere Standard, because it's the most common thing that people would see in the Innisphere past a certain point. And yeah, like a police version and stuff like that, private security forces using them. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. So there's a whole bunch of them in this TRO, so I'll get through them at some point as well. But until then, thanks everybody for listening. Hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.